welcome in to episode number 47 of Talkin Kentucky. Coleman is out playing another trumpet gig tonight. So you got me leading the pack tonight. My name's Caden Holmes, and I got the one and only Cody Peevler, and also the one and only Jonathan Holmes, my own brother. How are y'all doing?
Doing great.
Cody, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain. Before we start the show, I just wanted to apologize to you all and everyone else. I have North Carolina Blue on right now. Did not mean to do that, but I did think Clyde would probably enjoy the fact that I had North Carolina Blue on, since he talks about how much he loves North Carolina every single show. So we got a lot of people in the comments already. We got Clyde saying yeehaw. And then we got Marcia in here. Hey, Marcia, how you doing? She says she's feeling sunny. I guess it was a pretty nice day today. That's what she's talking about. And we also got Michelle. I'm assuming Michelle is Marcia's friend in here. So welcome, Michelle. So Jonathan, you were in Texas. Speaking of yeehaw, you were in Texas last week. How was that trip? I know you all had David Holmes calling the show. So
That's
that
right.
was an awesome call. But how did everything go down?
It was awesome. Weather was nice and warm for 3 days, and then it was like 50 on the water, so it felt like 35. We caught some fish and had a good time and got to hear the show, and you guys did an awesome job.
Yeah, we love that David Holmes call. He just said it how it was. He's exactly like he always is. So, yeah, he killed it.
Well, I wish you could have seen us on the other end, because we were all like, yeah, let's call in. And then whenever he called, we all just stayed silent. So he was like on the end of his little tree limb on his own trying to talk. But he did awesome. It was just kind of funny on our side, because we really built him up to call, and then we just kind of left him hanging to answer all the questions that Coleman and you were throwing at him.
Yeah, you all said that when he started calling in, he was like, I don't know what I'm going to say. But he did a really good job. So I hope he calls in tonight or some other time. That was awesome. So the first thing I want to bring up, speaking of fishing, I saw this article, and this is one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my entire life. I wrote here in my notes: fisherman cheats in tournament, stuffing fish with lead weights and fillets.
It's real.
That's a real thing?
That's a real thing.
So this isn't just like out of nowhere?
No, there's unfortunately been a lot of guys that's been caught doing that, sticking lead weights down in their stomach, and they weigh them, and of course they are much heavier than they actually are in real life. And a lot of times they don't get caught, unfortunately.
Well, my first thought is that's terrible for the fish. I mean, the fish don't survive that, right?
Right. They definitely die.
How do they get caught?
That's a good question. The most recent one, like, these guys were winning like every tournament, and somehow they actually felt them in like the stomach of the fish, the gut of the fish actually could feel the lead weights. But I think that's why a lot of tournaments now, they're starting to do this catch and release kind of thing, like the Major League Fishing you see on TV. They catch them, they immediately throw them back in the lake, I think, to prevent guys from maybe being able to do that. And they have somebody in the boat with them that can kind of monitor and make sure that they're not catching fish that they already have, or sticking them in their mouth, sticking weights in their mouth as they catch them.
Well, I see why they do it. This tournament was $28,000. They're in the running for $28,000. I mean, I see like why someone would do it, but that's so, like, to me, that's just so evil. I can't even imagine.
I guess when it comes to any type of competition, people are going to find a way to cheat no matter what.
Yeah,
I mean, it's inevitable.
It's true. Can you imagine being the fish that gets hooked? You're like having a bad day, and then it becomes a worse day because you get a piece of lead stuck down your throat.
My goodness.
That's my luck right there.
It is. So I was just thinking, is there a way? You said people can cheat and everything. You think there's a way to cheat?
Oh.
Well, you lagged, I think, Caden.
You lagged. We lost what you
Can you hear
said.
me now?
Yeah, we
We
can hear you now.
now.
Oh, I'm good now. I was just saying, you said there's a way to cheat on everything. I said, you think there's a way to cheat on trumpet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's kind
I mean,
of.
you might be able to pay a professor off to get a better scholarship, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably pay a professor to get a better grade or something, but other than that, no, there's really no cheating on trumpet.
Well, yeah,
Like Coach Cal would say, we can't hide you.
yeah, that's true.
I hate that quote. Cal gives that quote every other day, but the fact is he hides everybody on the dang team.
Yes, he does.
Clyde says no Coleman. Clyde, yeah, sorry, no Coleman tonight. He's playing in an orchestra tonight, so you got us tonight.
Sorry to disappoint.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint. So a few basketball things to get into. Speaking of Coach Cal, there's actually, even me and Coleman have talked about this, even the weeks where we don't think much is going to happen, just stuff kind of goes off the rails. So first off, Ugana is coming back, I think. I mean, he said, what was it? He was coming back, then he was going to transfer, and now he's coming back again. We figured out that it was his handlers that were trying to get him to transfer because of NIL. Do y'all know? Cody, you probably know more about that than I do. Do you know? Can you give us a rundown on that?
Basically, what the rumor is, and I mean, obviously, no one knows this for sure, but he had someone on his team or his handlers, as you call them, was basically pushing his name out there to be put in the quote unquote transfer portal. So he did that without Ugana pretty much knowing. He just put it out there and like, hey, we really wanted to transfer and we're open to any offers. That's basically what they were doing. And
but my question, if that's true, why did it take like a week for him to say otherwise?
Well, I mean, I guess when it comes to, I guess they think of it as their business, so they don't want to jeopardize their business, so they wait and kind of save face however they can. But basically, they just Ugana supposedly, according to Drew Franklin, he actually found out he was transferring from some national media because he was like, this is news to me, but just looks to me like just a lack of communication and
all this stuff just feels and smells and tastes just like the NBA. Like this is the same.
This is what it's going to be. These players are now going to be branded as employees. Like they're all going to be paid, and they're going to start going to places where the who pays the most money, and it's not going. They don't care what jersey they're wearing, and that's never going to be the case from now on. It sucks, and it's unfortunate because like the fan base really cares about this, about the jersey and what it means. But I'm here to tell you that these players don't care anymore. It's about who's going to pay me the most money. That's all it is.
I think Johnson was about to say it smells like the Shaden Sharp situation, which I see he's got his boy back there once again.
Oh, hey, don't worry. I've got a better picture uploaded ready to plaster back behind me, but I can't get my my browser is doing the Shaden Sharp on me, and it's not wanting to play. But I'm going to try to get it to play shortly and get that picture up there. But I think this was the sad part of NIL that, like, people should have saw coming. Like, I mean, it was bound and determined to end like this. And you can't – there's some things you can't go back the other way on, Like, when something starts, you can't go back the other direction. So it's never going to go back to the old way of people having to play. And if they transfer, then they have to wait a year. Like, that's never going to happen again. Like, people can just go as they want to. And I read something earlier today that said a lot of they're afraid coaches are going to like start getting out of the profession and stuff like that. Like, I don't blame them. It's got to be like the one thing I will say for Cal is this has to be miserable to try to, on top of all the egos and all the talent stuff that you got to try to bring in and make work well together. Like throwing this on top of all that, it's got to be really difficult.
Speaking of coaches changing, or coaches complaining about it, I've heard multiple of high-profile coaches. Like I know Tom Izzo's complained about the transfer portal, and I'm sure there's numerous other examples too. But what were you going to say, Cody?
I was just going to say, like, to further Jonathan's point, I mean, it's got to be some of the issue on the front of the locker room drama and stuff like that. I mean, you can't tell me that doesn't play a factor in the chemistry and the issues that particularly Kentucky had. I mean, it's going to happen all across the country where, you know, either A, they're not getting paid enough, or B, they're getting paid a whole lot, and then they get sent on the bench, and then the coach can't do his job, you know, and people are going to be scrutinizing him. His handlers are going to be like, hey, yo, you better be playing my boy. I mean, we got all this money. So, you know, it's going to, like Jonathan said, it's going to be a tough situation for the coaches to be in because, you know, they made promises when they got there. And then when that kid doesn't live up to them and there's somebody else playing better than him, like, how do you, I don't know, I just don't see how they function and have chemistry.
Can you imagine, like, if all the NIL stuff was there when we had John Wall or AD? Like, can you imagine if they were told, hey, you're not going to play the rest of this season? Like, that would have destroyed us.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody had handlers, it would have been those two.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, Caden, go ahead.
I'm going to play this later. There's a DeMarcus Cousins video. I don't know if you all saw. He had an interview with Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett's got like a radio show, a podcast now, and he talked about John Wall's handlers. I don't know if it's in the clip that I picked, but he did mention in that interview, like talking about how crazy it was rooming with John Wall in particular, and how all of his, like John Wall's camp, he like saw like behind the scenes, like everything that was happening. It's a pretty cool interview. I recommend our viewers and you all to watch that. It's really cool.
Can you post a link in the chat? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's like a 40-minute video. Just type in like maybe one of you all can find it. Just type in like Kevin Garnett, DeMarcus Cousins interview. But it's really good. But Dad says, we're going back to the Uganda thing. Scott Holmes says, I think it's because we lost a recruit. And my first thought was that must mean either Oscar's not coming back or we're not getting that Hunter Dickinson kid or maybe someone else. So what do you all think about that?
I definitely think it has to do with something along those lines. I don't know. I wouldn't think. I wouldn't think that Oscar coming back or going would have a huge effect on it, but you know.
You also got people getting Aaron Bradshaw in too, so I don't know if all three of them are back. I don't know who's.
Well, he's apparently played the 4, so I mean, it doesn't matter what he does.
Or even 3, who knows?
Yeah, it's
7 for 1, but he's going to be playing the 4 though. He's going to be our power forward.
Okay, here's my question: is Oscar part of the problem this year or no?
Yeah, I think so.
You just can't, like, a guy that's gonna, like, he's not a good defender, but I'm not holding that against him because player of the year, guy got like 40 rebounds in 2 games. You can't, I don't consider him a problem. I consider him a defensive problem, but overall player, no, I think he helped our team.
I mean, the chemistry issue more than anything. Like, I don't think we had a chemistry issue year before last, and he was part of that team. But something changed. Like, something changed.
Something changed with Oscar. I mean, you could tell the way he acted on the court. I mean, something changed with him. And I think that a lot of the players noticed that and probably got a little jealous.
Do you think the beef was between he and Wheeler?
It's very possible.
I've heard that.
Well, apparently Wheeler tried to shove Oscar or punch him or what. I don't know.
Yeah, tell us what he said, Cody. What did he call him?
Oh, I don't think I can repeat that.
When we play this DeMarcus Cousins clip, it's going to have to be explicit episode anyways. So
I tried to search for it, but I found a whole lot of DeMarcus Cousins clips. So I have to look for it a little bit later.
Let's go ahead and watch it. He basically talks about, it made me like him a lot more. He talks about how much he loved Kentucky and everything. But I'll go ahead and get this rolling here.
with that, it's like, okay, you top 5 picks. So I had the conversation with Kyle. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to come back to Kyle. I'm going to do it one more year. And then, you kind of, well, you don't know. You don't know. You came straight out. But you kind of, fall in love with it. This was the first time, like, I enjoyed playing basketball. I felt loved. I felt like I could be my Kentucky, like, put me in a place of just, like, what's the word? Like, just, it was a peaceful environment. I could just be myself. I wasn't being judged. They enjoyed me for, like, all the positives I was looking for in my life.
That's what's up.
So I'm like, man, I want to stay here. Like, I'm trying to win a championship, all this shit. So I holler at Five. I'm like, man, what you think about staying? I'm thinking about, Joe Kim Noah and them, the Floyd. Five was like, nigga, please.
We out.
Man, I'm going to the league. I'm like, all right, well, okay, I bet. So let me go back to the drawing board. I had a conversation with Kyle. I'm like, Kyle, I'm thinking about coming back. And this was me and Kyle conversation. This is end of the year joint. This is end of the year meeting. And our conversation lasted about 3 minutes. So I'm like, I'm thinking about coming back. And Kyle was like, all I got to say is, he was like, if you want to take care of your family, you're going to leave. If you want to take care of my family, you're going to stay.
Oh, wow.
Appreciate everything you did for me, Kyle. I see you in.
Damn.
That was our conversation.
Man, that was gangster. Damn, that was gangster.
Went on, moved to the next phase.
That dude cracks me up. God.
Yeah, he's a good storyteller there. But it was interesting for me to hear a guy from back then saying that how much of a peaceful environment it is. Like, compare that to what we've heard players say recently. Like it's like they hate the media and all the scrutiny they get and everything. But you have Cousins there saying, I loved it. People finally love me. And I grow up, people telling me all my issues, but I get to Kentucky and everything's just great.
Well, I would say to counteract that, I mean, Cousins, he was kind of a hothead anyway, and he embraced conflict. He embraced people hating on him, people yelling at him. I mean, that dude legitimately embraced that stuff, and he still does. Think about the Mississippi State game. Call me, like that dude. I mean, he ate that stuff up. So, like, for him, maybe it was peaceful because just his personality, and so he's like, I can roll with that. And like that, the negative stuff that some of the other players in the past few years complain about, he probably didn't bother him like it did some other people.
Yeah, I struggle when I hear a player like him make like okay, I'm just gonna be straight with you. So Cal's job is to make sure Kentucky's successful, and he is doing right by the kids by giving him his honest opinion and all that. But I do think he could have done that in a way that didn't literally shove his ass out the door. Like he could have. And look, dude, you want to come back? If you want to come back, I want you to come back. But I want you to really think about it and realize how much money you have on the line. He could have said all of those things, got the same message across, but also if the dude wants to come back, he had every right to come back. Would that have made other kids come back too? Maybe, maybe not. But the dude sure could have used like another year of like figuring out how to deal with like some of the like Cody said, like he got to the NBA and the last I heard is he going overseas.
Yeah, he's going
like,
overseas.
Would one more year of figuring out how to just like be a teammate and like deal with some of that stuff without sucking somebody in the nose, like maybe it would have helped him mature a little bit,
I completely agree with you, Jonathan. But just to play devil's advocate, I think in Cal's mind, this goes back to DJ Wagner's dad at Memphis, DeJuan Wagner. He ended up going to the league after a year, just like all his players do. But he ended up getting some kind of cancer or sickness, and it cut his career short. But because he went after his first year, he was able to make millions of dollars. So I think playing Cal's mind, it's like, I don't want to ever do that to a kid who's going to be a top 5 pick. So I get that.
I know, but if the kid makes that decision on his own,
that's true.
That's a different scenario. I always have felt like the reason Cal does that is because he feels like that's his way to ensure that the next group of kids will come in. If I have the best class in the country and they're about to leave, then now we've got open spots for the next. At that time, he was rolling. His recruiting was awesome. He knew if he had that group coming in, those kids aren't coming, right? But I don't know. I just feel like there's always. I told my band students this the other day. Like there is always a such thing as a too much of a good thing. Like you can drink too much water and it will poison you, right? Cal needs to look at the big picture sometimes. I think shoving them out the door to the NBA just because maybe isn't always the best thing. How many guys have gone to the NBA and then now they're not playing at all because they went after their
We've had several guys that shouldn't have. And honestly, some of those he probably did tell them they shouldn't have, and they did anyways.
True.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines here. I'm going to make sure my iPad's not on idle like it was last time. Our number is 502-234-1504. So opening the phone lines if you want to call. I know we have our normal order of people, but whoever wants to call in, I'm open to new calls and everything. So.
Just because it was on my mind, Shaden Sharp did not make the playoff. So I think they have the worst records in the league. I don't think it was very last, but I think they're like third or fourth to last. And so things really turned out good for him. So I'm really glad that he got that experience. Hope the money was worth it.
It's important to know how he's doing, and we appreciate Cody being our Shaden Sharp analyst. It's mad as it makes Clyde.
But hey, he got better. I mean, he's probably playing. He started out only playing like 12 to 13, 15 minutes a game, and now in the last month or two, he's been playing almost 24 or 25 minutes a game. So he has gotten better.
I think what we need to do is we need to make a Shaden Sharp seat that is at the end of our bench every year. It just needs to say Shaden Sharp.
Yes.
In his memory.
I was going to bring up the fact that he basically said he likes to play basketball now, but we've talked enough about Shaden Sharp.
He doesn't miss an opportunity to play basketball.
Yeah, we can move on from that. I just realized. Oh, speaking of, Clyde's probably gonna be mad.
It's okay.
Hey, Clyde, how you doing?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing good.
I think honestly, it's just time to just move on and just forget about Shaden Sharp because, to be honest, it's getting old. Him coming up to me the other day, if I had the opportunity to play, I'll play. Well, you had an opportunity last year and you didn't play. We don't know. Let Talkin tell what does go through Cal's mind. Because he has a hard time figuring out his lineups with his team. He has a hard time figuring out to get results because he doesn't do a good job of kind of open. His coach style is very wishy-washy. It's very iffy. So we could have used Shaden Sharp to get some blitz here. But I was thinking about what to go to his rotation because I'm rotation for him instead of the guys that are going to get a chance. And he talks about, David and all these players get their chance, but yet you never get a chance.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of players he should have given a chance, and we still don't know what Damian Collins is going to do. I think we all assume he's going to transfer back to Texas. Cody, or I say back to Texas. He's from Texas, but we're assuming he's going to go to UT Austin. What do you all think, Cody and Jonathan, about Damian Collins?
Either way, I mean, I honestly don't think that personally, I don't think I could stay at a place where I lost a parent. Like I honestly don't think I could. If I wouldn't blame him for transferring. So I mean, in that situation, he's got to do what is kind of best for him.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
I know, yeah, with his dad dying and everything, I would completely understand it. But Clyde, do you have anything else for us?
And, I know people are something like, well, we don't want Oscar back because he was like, he's getting so much attention when he's down in the get down. And people are insane for not wanting him back. I mean, you saw, like, people just was all over him taking this shit because they knew how dominant a rebounder he was. And I think some fans, they know we don't want him back. Let's move on from Oscar. He's a national player of the year. You don't want that back. I mean, people are like sense nowadays, man. I'm telling you.
I completely agree. I think the pros completely outweigh the cons with him. And you're right. He gets so much attention down low. That should be our chance to knock down open shots, you would think. So, but Clyde, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. See if we can get some more people to call in. But thanks for calling. Bye.
I think the problem with Oscar, some of it, is that people are just tired of, like, it's not necessarily that we want him to go. It's just that what happened last year can't happen again. And if it's an entirely new group, maybe that helped.
Yeah, but I don't think it was Oscar's fault though. I don't know.
One thing that bothers me about that situation is I heard rumors that he wasn't staying with the team. Like, he wasn't living in the lodge. He wasn't.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That part of it bothers me. Like, if that's true, then
I didn't hear any of that.
That's the kind of stuff that needs to change.
I think we got Marsha here. Marsha, how you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we can't complain.
You guys are really honest. I totally agree with everything you're saying.
Marsha agrees with everything we're saying. Even the Shade and Sharp stuff, Clyde didn't even agree on that.
Sharp, you know what? He was promised, if you talk about him, that he would see him. But you know what? If he's been playing, we got to look at the BJP. We did win it over here. He definitely was proud because I know the games I'm watching. I mean, he appeared to question. But, I don't believe it. We get on the bench like this for any reason at all. What to do for us. But
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear. We don't have anything against any of the kids. I know they go through a lot of stuff. We just have a show, and we just try to make light of the situation and have fun with it. But
I want to be good.
NIL deals and the portal is plumb crazy.
yes, it is.
It's really going to be hard to coach. And we're going to find out real quick. And I guess my question would be,
I think we've already found out.
I mean, what does he say to these kids? I mean, if I'm some kind of I could promise kid anything. You can prove it first because they're coming into the next level here. We're not in high school anymore where we're not shooting McDonald games, 3-pointers, barely past that. And then when it's time to go, it's time to go. I mean, is there more welcome to even come back? I don't feel that from him. And so you get a brand new team, especially top freshmen. Everybody thinks we're going to win. No. It's going to be our team coach. I mean, I think, in my opinion, I might be wrong, and y'all can say I am. I think DJ Wagner is going to be an attitude.
But don't we want some attitude on the team? Like, I want the Cody, Jonathan. I don't know about you all, but I want the Cousins and the John Walls and the Eric Bledsoes back. What do you all think?
I think if Cousins had played on any other team, we would freaking hate him. But I think because he played on our team, we love him. So yeah, I want some attitude. Right after they dunk it, I want him to go flex on the tape.
Yeah, good cocky attitude. I agree.
Well, the last time that I made a comment on this particular thing, it had to be cut from the podcast, so I can't say what I said.
Yeah. I don't know if you all know, but sometimes we have to cut some things from the podcast that we either don't mean to say or we say things we shouldn't. So not everything makes a final cut,
but yes, I agree. I want that kind of atmosphere from our players.
I'm just curious is how what you guys are thinking championship. I mean, I don't have my expectations up now. I think it'll be hard to coach.
I think it's going to be hard no matter who we have. These days, I think it's harder than it probably ever was, just because
Yeah, I do too.
teams like San Diego State are lighting up. Cody and Jonathan, what do you think? Do you think we're going to get a championship next year? Are you expecting a Final Four, or are you just hoping to make it to the Sweet 16?
If Cal can let them play, well, we might have a chance. Let them play how they've been playing for the last however many years they've been playing. So I think it's worked out pretty well for him, and I think everyone wants to play modern basketball, but for whatever reason, Coach Cal's just refusing to change, refusing to adapt, and he's either going to have to try something new and try to play modern basketball or just quit. I mean, that's his only option, really.
And let it go and see how it goes. Because if someone says, well, you're marching here $9 million, here's your new team, and it can be like, oh boy, I'm going to throw in a kitchen sink and everything else because that's how I'm going to be thinking, and really know my kids. I can't imagine with 5 freshmen and even with the guy coming back, he's awkward. We'll see. Now, Coach says he's the best in the country.
I think he has tremendous upside. But Marcia, I think we're gonna have to let you go and get some more callers on here. But as always, I appreciate you calling.
And you guys have a sunny day.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, this time my calls are going to my phone because I have my phone linked to my iPad, but it's not showing up on my iPad. So Clyde said he could barely hear Marcia. I don't know if you all can hear the calls okay.
No, I just hear the distortion of her higher end of her voice. That's all I hear.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing a little bit too.
Well, hopefully we'll start going through the iPad. We didn't hit on holidays yet, so let's take a look. Let's get away from some of this Kentucky basketball and take a look at some of the holidays. So today was National Make Lunch Count Day. I don't know if I really made lunch count because I had leftovers. But what about you all?
I made lunch count at Subway in the Bowling Green Mall. That was my lunch.
Oh, nice. What did I have for lunch today?
About 72 middle school students.
Yeah, so you made it count.
They looked terrified when we walked in, and they looked more terrified when we left.
I had Sonic. It was pretty good.
That's a good lunch.
They had half price sauced, what do they call them? The little nugget things. Popcorn chicken, there we go. They had sauce. They had a half price, and I got that and some of the barbecue tater tots.
It's Celebrate Teen Literature Day. Did y'all read any teen literature today?
I had none.
All right, now we're cooking. We're going through the iPad. But it said call failed. So
Hey, the ring sounded great, though.
Josh, can you call in again? We're turning into KSR with these technical difficulties. But yeah, teen literature. Did y'all read any books today?
I read a book to Harrison just a little bit ago.
What was that called?
I don't remember. It was like what's behind the rock or something. It was like a frog. I don't know.
Oh, so you got your picture book reading in for the
Yeah, it was one of those you had to. It had little flaps, and you opened it, and then you had to read something inside the flaps.
Yeah,
He
that's
likes to bring us books, and he'll hand it to us. So he wants us to read the book to him. It's pretty cute.
Jonathan's probably experiencing that with his daughter, that age.
Oh yeah, hey, both of my kids love to read every night. I can't remember what the name of the book was last night, but Campbell likes Pout Pout Fish. That's her favorite.
Pow pow fish.
Pout Pout Fish. It's about some sad fish. But don't worry though, he's happy at the end.
Good.
What made him happy at the end? Did he?
I can't remember.
Honestly, like, yeah, I read all these books, but like, I don't remember anything about them. They're not like coherent. Like, they don't make any sense. They're just, I don't know, just words to help them.
Yeah, here's my favorite is the ones that have like, it's a book about like, it'll say like, that's not my horse. That horse is too rough, and it'll have a piece of something that you feel that feels rough.
Mhm.
But the stuff that they have that you feel a certain way doesn't feel right.
We asked you.
Did you just hear that?
Heard something.
The call fell again?
Yeah.
But yeah, picture books are.
Your cell phone, Joshua Hart. I'm unavailable. Sign, please leave your name, number.
Josh, I tried calling you back, but you're unavailable. It says.
Should have left him a message.
I should have left him a message. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I feel like when I'm the one hosting the show, the calling situation is just not working. Or
What
working.
I really hope happens one of these shows is that you get like one of those spam calls, or they call and they want to ask you to buy extended warranty, and I want to hear you guys like just let them go for a while and like.
Or they're like asking us for our social security number and everything.
Yeah.
Next time you call, next time one of them calls you, you need to give them your information on your Nissan, your Sentra.
Oh yeah. My favorite is when they call me and I'm teaching. I answer it every time. I don't care what I'm doing in the middle of class. I answer it and I put them on speaker, and then I talk to them in front of my band kids, and they think it is the funniest thing ever. It's like, I let them go, and I'm like, sorry, can you say that again? I can't hear you. And they say it 15 times. It's great.
Didn't you post on one of the KSR pages that your car has like 400,000 miles?
My car, this is legit. I drive an hour each way every day, so 2 hours a day. My car has 450,000 miles on it. It is a 2006 Nissan Sentra.
When they call you and they ask, like, do you have any vehicle that you would like to have an extended warranty? And be like, and they're going to ask you, be like, yeah, what do you got? And I was like, you should say, I got a 2006 Nissan Sentra with 455,000 miles on it. And they're like,
I get this notification once a month that they want me to replace my airbag. The airbag is worth more than the car, and I don't respond. So then they start sending it to me in other languages because they think that I just can't read the English ones that they send me. So they send it to me in like Spanish, and French, and all kinds of other stuff. Like, it's hilarious.
Josh said he tried to call again. Did you pay the bill? Yeah, that I know of, Josh. It's Coleman's account, so let's blame Coleman. He's not here, so let's blame him.
So that Nissan Sentra still kicking, ain't it?
Yeah, Matt Jones and those guys, they call BS on that.
Did
but it's
they really?
legit. They did, and I even took a picture of it, showed the mileage on it. You've ridden in the car.
I took up for you on your comment. I said I can attest to it.
Thing's a tank.
It doesn't sound great, but it still goes.
Hey, it gets me A to B. Gas mileage is great.
So did you all see, back to some UK news, did y'all see where we're recruiting a Duke commit now?
I didn't.
This Duke got out of his letter of intent to Duke, and now we're trying to get him. I think he's like some small forward.
Oh, no, wait. I thought they weren't going to try to get that guy.
Well, I guess they just assumed we were because we were on his list before he committed to Duke.
Never assume.
So I have a question. Are these? What is the NBA rule now? Guys can go straight out, right? They don't have to go to college.
No, you still got to do 1 year.
1 year.
You still have to do one.
Yeah, but what I don't get is it seems like you can graduate high school whenever you want now.
You can also go to high schools that aren't accredited too. So that's a thing.
Oh gosh. Anyways, we're also recruiting a guy from Western Kentucky. He's 7.5 feet tall. So, I mean,
I'll pass.
You'll pass.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Is that not tall enough for you?
Well, he also played awful. He got schooled by Oscar.
I did forget about that. We played them, didn't we?
Yeah,
it's
Oscar.
that guy.
Yeah, it's that guy. Oscar took his lunch money.
Well, surely he can at least get some blocks for us.
I'm good. Don't worry, we're gonna have a 7-1 player, and he's gonna be playing in power forward. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Guys, the only thing that I know about next year's team that I would bet my salary on, which isn't much, we are going to suck at free throws.
We always suck at free throws. Those guys can't hit the backside of a barn. Every single year, this is what we deal with.
I feel like for these guys that are 7 foot tall, it must be like going to Chuck E. Cheese's and trying to throw it in the basket there, and we still miss the dang thing. Like,
or like
it's
going
really
out and one of those toddler 4 feet goals and trying to shoot on it with one of those balls that are like half the size of your hand. Yeah, it's probably what it's like. Josh Hart said that. How about those Batcats? They're playing very good. Aren't they playing against LSU tonight or last night? I was going to ask Coleman about that. But
baseball. Duh.
Yeah, baseball. I think was it LSU ranked number 1. I think UK was playing them tonight. So I'd be curious to see that. I'm not a big college baseball fan or any baseball fan, but glad to see UK doing well. Oh, never mind. Clyde says they're getting destroyed. So,
have you guys ever been to a major league game?
I have not.
I haven't either. I would like to sometime.
I've been to a OSU game. I forgot who we played, but it was fun. I
really like baseball, and I played baseball most of my childhood and up until high school. I love baseball, but I never had a favorite team. So like I've always struggled with like, I don't know, I just never really rooted for anybody. I like watching baseball and I like playing baseball. But
yeah, Cody's always sending me clips of people throwing like 200 miles per hour and all these like crazy home runs. I think it's impressive. I still don't watch baseball though.
I put my sports into 2 categories. There's the category that it's fun to watch, and then it's the category that is more fun to watch. Golf. I feel like all of those are that category for me.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with those 2 categories. What about you, Cody?
What was the second category you cut off?
The second category is that it would be more fun to play than to watch.
Yeah,
I don't know how anybody watches a golf tournament.
Yeah, I've never watched golf. I'm right there with you. Who's on the phone?
I think we got Josh Hart now. Finally worked.
Oh, all right, cool. You got it working. I heard you all. I just didn't know if you could hear me.
Yeah, we got you. How's it going, Josh?
All right. Great, man. Back home in Kentucky for until next Friday, so I got time to come home and rest, and before I hit the road back again next week. So it's nice coming home to the Bluegrass State.
So where are you going next week?
I'll be going back to Missouri for probably pretty much the whole year, converting Orchland stores into Tractor Supplies, because that's what I do for a living is remodel stores.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but every time Josh calls us, he's in a different place. He's always traveling. Pretty cool. I enjoy seeing all your pictures on Facebook, Josh.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate what you guys have been doing with the show. Sometimes I don't have the opportunity to get on, and it bothers me because I really, really enjoy the show, and it's actually one of my favorite ones out there. So.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. We appreciate your support. It really means a lot that you're
still
helping us
dropping
out.
that $10 a month. I need to take a picture. Finally got my cup. I got my Talkin Kentucky mug, and I haven't.
Oh, you got it?
Yes. I forgot. That's the main reason I'm calling that. Yes, I got my mug finally. It says Talkin Kentucky. It's white with blue lettering. And it's a pretty cool mug. Mom was like, "What's it Talkin Kentucky?" And I was like, "It's a show I sponsored." She's like, "Sponsor?" She's like, "What?" And I was like, "I give them money to help them with their show." And she goes, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
So is she watching now too?
No, she's too busy playing games on her phone.
That reminds me, we actually have a new supporter now. Coleman made a comment to me the other day. He wanted me to announce on the show. Caleb Purdue is now one of our supporters. I think he's supporting us through Patreon. So Caleb, if you're watching, thank you for that. But yeah, I just wanted to make
I wish more
shout
people
out.
would get on board because this is such a great show, man. If you guys are in the top 25, maybe I guess you're at least still in the top 25.
Yeah, well, I don't.
23.
We don't know if that was an annual ranking or monthly or what they do. So we gotta check back with them to see. But yeah, Cody, Jonathan, I know Cody knew, but Jonathan, we were number 23 according to FeedSpot.
Heck yeah.
I have a question for all three of y'all. I'm going to ask this question, and then all three of you all can answer how you want to. Okay, we're getting this person a bit. Uganda's coming back. We're talking about getting a Western Kentucky kid. We're talking about getting this Duke kid. Then we got all these kids coming in, all these freshmen. Calvin Perry only plays 6, 7 people. He's gonna have 14 on the bench. Do you see him playing more people since we're getting more people?
Jonathan's shaking his head.
I don't, but I also wonder if he doesn't know which of these are going to be deciding to not play randomly through the middle of the season, so he's got some backups to step in and fill in.
He's just got to, and I think this is his plan every year. I mean, his focus is to have a insane practice squad so that they can run basically mini games every practice. That's pretty much why he does that, and I don't see him ever changing as far as playing his 6, 7, 8 or whatever guys he's got picked out. He's not going to change from that. But all those other guys on the bench, I mean, they're just all they are is practice bodies, and that's all he uses them for.
Do you think that's why the scholarship?
What was that, Jonathan?
Do you think that he always has 1 or 2 scholarships that he doesn't utilize? That's the thing that I never understand. So if he's gonna have these extra guys, why not fill out the whole, scholarship thing that he can? Why does he have 1 or 2 that he leaves open?
This is my theory on that, and I could be completely wrong. You guys know that. You know how he promises. Or Kentucky's always promised guys that leave and want to come back and finish their degree. I feel like that, and it may not be completely why they do it, but I feel like just to know that the money's there to do that, I feel like he keeps it open just for that reason. But that's my theory. I don't know this, but it's the only thing that really makes sense, because why else would that be a thing? And I don't really know if that's always been the case with past coaches. I'm not sure, but it just only thing that really makes sense to me, because you got NBA guys like Rondo, Ulis are coming back to get their degree, so that money's got to come from somewhere. They're getting tuition paid for already, so I don't know, just my theory.
That's a good point. If he's only going to use 7 or 8 guys anyways, then I can understand that. But yeah, I agree. It seems like he starts the season using 10, 12 guys, and then he just dwindles down, which I guess he only trusted about 7 or 8 players in game this year, which I think some players played way too many minutes, like Casey Wallace, but I feel like he, for example, kind of had to, unfortunately. But
yeah, but I've been trying look what happened this year with injuries and this and that. I mean, why not throw Brendan Canada out there? I don't know how good he is. Nobody knows. Everybody talks like he's a beast in practice. So why does not Calipari not give you, if you need somebody to come in for a minute and play, why doesn't he do that? It really frustrates. That's what frustrates me with this coaching style. If you've got a kid that can get off the bench and give you 10 minutes to give another person a blow and a rest, then why not put him in instead of running the players into the ground?
Yeah, I would be interested to look back on that roster from 2012 because I know we had some experience coming back too, like Darius Miller, who didn't start. He was one of the role players. So I don't know enough to say like if we were deeper that year. I want to say we were. Maybe that's why he played more guys, but no, I'm not really sure.
Josh, the simplified answer is he's got to get those guys draft stock up. That's basically why he does that. So
I understand, but there's more important things. Championships. You talked about winning championships, not bringing.
Yeah, but I mean, actions speak louder than words. He can say that all day long that he cares about that, but he doesn't. He cares about getting those guys draft stock up, getting them drafted, and putting money in their pockets. That's all he really cares about.
But the other thing to keep in mind that group. So the Daniel Orton year, was that the championship year? Was that the year before that?
That was his first year. That was Cal's first year.
Okay, think of how great that team was, even though we lost because we couldn't shoot and because we missed free throws again. By the way, like think about how good that team was. All of those guys got drafted. It was like the most ever from a team up to that point. So, like, if he can get his mind around, like, how to make them good and win games, all that other stuff takes care of itself. If he can, the guys that he brings back, if they're good enough to come back, I mean, he lets them come back instead of kicking them out the door, lets them play the next year, their draft stock's going to be good anyways.
And I get Calipari wanting to get these kids a better life. I get it, and I applaud him for that, And that's great what he's doing because some of these kids never had nothing, and he's giving them the opportunity and the platform at the University of Kentucky to get to the next level, and that's great. But we want championships, so he's got to figure that part out, and he needs to figure it out because he's got a killer squad coming in. If Oscar's coming back, Uganda's coming back, and we get a kid from Michigan, and we got all these talented super freshmen coming in along with Reed Shepherd, then. We have to win the national title next year.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
Yeah, especially with this drought. And I'm excited for Reed Shepherd. I hope he sticks around a few years. He could be one of those Kentucky guys that can be like a really big piece to a championship team, whether it's next year or later down the road.
I think he's one of those guys. I don't think he's going to have to wait for years.
3 years. Yeah, it could be. I hope so. But Josh, thanks for calling in as always, and thanks for being our supporter. And I hope you have safe travels next time on your trip. And I look forward to hearing from you again.
I think
have a great night.
Thanks.
I think if Cal doesn't at least make it to a Final Four before he retires again, I think his legacy will be a little bit different.
I think he needs a championship. I'm a little biased.
I do too, but I think at least if he makes it to a Final Four before he retires again, then I think that will mend some wounds.
Agreed. The last weekend if we made it the last weekend, it would mend a lot. Well, guys, we've talked about a lot. We've talked about all these guys we're looking for. We're trying to recruit for our basketball team. We've talked about the guys that are leaving. I don't know if we mentioned Chris Livingston's also said he's going to the NBA, but he's retaining his eligibility. So that was another one. So he joins Reeves and Oscar to retain. And then Wallace and Toppin are definitely gone, along with Wheeler transferring. So I think some of these guys, I think Chris Livingston's probably gone, but I think Oscar and Reeves have a good chance of coming back. What do you all think?
I think they're all gone.
I think they're all gone, even Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the playing time issue and then the potential handler things that we don't even really know what's going on behind the scenes. That's the thing that concerns me about whether or not they stay or go. Like looking at the group coming in, assuming all of them come and all of them play, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, always. And it wouldn't surprise me either way, honestly. But my guess today is that we keep 2 of those guys, I hope. But yeah, it's been a good show. I think we're going to wrap up here. Do y'all have anything else? And we also need to name the episode before we get off here. Anything stand out to you all? We talked about fishermen cheating. We talked about
Talkin'
Shady Sharp. We've worn that out, so we probably can't call it Talking Sharp. What do you say, Jonathan?
Talking fishing.
Talking fishing. Yeah. Talking cheating.
Yes, there we go.
Talking fish. I like that one.
Talking lead fish or something.
I like talking fishing. We can do FISHIN. Talking fishing. Sounds good to me. But Clyde said talking cousins. That's fitting for Kentucky.
I like that.
Marsha says I'm not sure why Reeves wants to stay, but he could come back. I think he liked Kentucky. He had a bad shooting game the last game, but I thought he was one of our better players. I would love to have him back. I think he'd be an important piece next year if he stayed. But I go through the little spiel now if I can find this stuff. Follow us on Twitter at Talkin_Kentucky. I'm going to be honest, I know nothing about Twitter, but Coleman hopefully knows a little bit more than me in that regard. Like us on Facebook, Talking Kentucky. Subscribes to us on YouTube. We're still trying to grow that. We usually put stupid clips or stupid videos on there, like the Tennessee fight song with the garbage can. That was a really good one. And then the Shade Sharp warm-up, missing a dunk. That was also another good one. That kind of stuff's on YouTube if you all want to check that out. And then support us on Patreon. I usually put a link, but I don't have it handy right now. But it's talkingkentucky.wordpress.com/support. And then you can support us on Patreon, like Caleb Purdue and Josh, which we really appreciate, again, by the way. But, yeah, that's it. Cody, Jonathan, you have anything else?
No, pretty good show. Go Cats.
Yeah, go Cats. Let's hope that some of these guys come back, and let's hope we can win a championship next year for the fans and for Coach Cal's legacy. So, as always, go Cats. And thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.